Hello, welcome to the Self-Learning Podcast by Dr. Sushma Singh. Let us start discussion on Unit 20 Survey Method. And our topic is Advantages and Weaknesses of Survey Research. Survey research has following advantages. Survey research is relatively inexpensive, especially self-administered surveys. Survey research is useful in describing the characteristics of a large population, demographic structure of a population, and its emerging trends and patterns. Survey research can be administered from remote locations using mail, email, or telephone. Consequently, very large samples are feasible, making the results statistically significant even when analyzing multiple variables. In survey research, one can ask many questions about a given topic, which gives considerable flexibility to the analysis. We can choose different ways of administrating a survey, from face-to-face interviews to telephones and emails. One can use any mode of collecting data depending on one's requirements and limitations. Unlike the qualitative methods, survey research is carried out through standardized questions, which makes measurement more precise by enforcing uniform definitions upon the participants. Standardization ensures that similar kinds of data are collected from groups and then interpreted comparatively between groups study, implying more objectivity and higher reliability. Following are some of the common problems with survey research. A preoccupation with standardization results in designing questions in very general terms to make them minimally appropriate for all respondents. This could lead to simplification, and one may end up missing what may be most appropriate to many respondents. Survey research is inflexible in the sense that it requires a precise study design. Everything must be worked out in advance. The tools to be used and the method of administering the tools. In order to make a survey methodologically sound, it should remain unchanged throughout the period of data collection. In order to make a survey viable and meaningful, the researcher has to make sure that a large proportion of selected respondents agree to respond. This, however, may not always be an easy task to achieve. In such situations, carrying out a survey becomes difficult. Surveys are also demanded a great deal of attention and honesty on the part of the respondents, particularly when a questionnaire is being used and the survey is self-administered. Respondents may not always be willing to give such attention to filling the questionnaires. Sometimes it may be hard for participants to recall certain information or to take a clear position on controversial issues. Another problem with survey research is that it is invariably context bound. However, in a social world, context and the environment in which questions are being asked and answers given is very important. For example, the responses of a female respondent being asked questions about gender equality in her home in the presence of her husband and other family members may be very different from the same questions asked at her workplace where she is employed. Survey research can rarely see the questions of context. Now let us conclude the unit. This unit aimed at familiarizing you with survey method and its relevance in the social research. Tracing the history of survey method, it elaborated on the procedure of carrying out research and pointed out both its advantages and weaknesses. This unit has prepared adequate background for you to read the detail of survey design, instrumentation and execution in the next 3 units of the block 5. Now let us wind up the session and we have come to the end of the unit. Thank you very much for engaging yourself with the self-learning podcast.